CrossStitch here in Wellington, New Zealand. I'm a day late. I'm sorry, throat's still a bit sore, but we're going to see if we can get this done. Today is Sunday, the 24th of September, and I just thought, well, let's see if we can get this done and do it relatively quickly, so not a lot of chit chat and all that sort of gewa, because I don't know how long this is going to last for. Okay, so we're just going to jump straight into it. For those oh Kat, you're so rude. For those that are joining me for the first time, thanks very much for stopping on by. I do appreciate the click, and it's nice to see you here. And if you like what you see, please, think about subscribing, or doing the like and the tick and the bell and all that sort of stuff, or share it, that sort of thing. And for those that are returning, thanks very much for coming by. I so appreciate you guys coming back and seeing me again. And for those that leave comments, thank you so much. It's nice to get them, and I do enjoy reading those. Okay, so we've got, I sort of lost my stitching mojo the last couple of weeks. It's a hard time of the year for me, so it's just hard for me to focus on anything. But yeah, so I did get some whips. I worked on some whips. I had some starts and finishes, and I did a bit of FFOing. So I'll show you that. And I've also got a little tiny bit of haul. It'll be the last bit of haul that you'll see. Some of it is basically from, I just haven't shown the threads. Well, I'm just going to show you the threads that I've gotten over the last couple of months that I've just sort of kept together, and now there's a decent amount. I'll just show you the bundle. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, so we'll go with the whips first. So the first one, and the other thing is, I'm not 100% sure whether I showed you these last time, so you might be seeing them again, and I do apologise. And as you can see, I've redone that. I'm going to get some thingies to hang up in that corner as well. I just have to get some command thingies for it. I'm just going to straighten you up a bit, because to me you sort of feel a bit wonky. Do you feel a bit wonky? Are you feeling wonky? Okay, right, anyway, so you might be seeing something I put on last week. Last time I should have gone and had a nosy to see what it was, but I didn't, because this was like spur of the moment. I thought, oh, I've got a voice, let's get doing this. See, I'm babbling even without meaning to. Anyway, so the first one is The Wizard of Oz Tree by Tiny Modernist, and I'm doing it with Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World. My goal this month was to get the lion shelf done, the Cowardly Lion. So this is, I think, where I was when you last saw it, and I have no idea where my board is, because I rearranged stuff, as you do. So hopefully you'll see this all right. Here we are now. So I got my little Cowardly Lion done. So next month I'm on to, I don't know which one I'm going to do, one of the two bottom shelves. So if I've worked this out right, it'll be, let's see if I can do this, it'll be October, November, and then the final one in December to finish this year. So yeah, quite happy with that. And yeah, nothing's ironed, because this is me and I don't iron unless I have to. Well, I do iron, I just don't very often. Okay, so the next one is the Sal that I'm running, Carolyn Manning Halloween Hamlet Sal. And great to see if I've seen some progress, which has been really lovely to see. And I'm loving all the different fabrics I'm seeing, and how people are doing it, and where they're starting from as well. As I said, I wanted to start with the outer first, and one side of the street has been frogged multiple times because I just can't count. So that's why one side hasn't been done yet, because I've frogged it like multiple times. I just stopped working on it. So this is, I think, where I was, because it only just started last time. And this is where I am now. So, the Wizard of Oz tree is stitched on 14 count popcorn string by Jody Redesigns, and this is on 18 count dyed by me, jar dyed, using Rit Pearl Grey and a splash of Rit Royal Purple, I think it was. Oh, and there's Monkey making a sound. He wants to be in on it. So I've got, you know, I've got the road done. It was just over here I kept on miscounting. Yeah, so I put it down. I put it down before I got violent. Now this is the one I'm not sure if I showed you last time or not, but I'm going to show you again. So it is the wonderful design by Colleen on Rebel Stitcher, called Happily Ever After. I hadn't done a heck of a lot. My goal was to finish, you know, the house, I think, last time. And so I've nearly finished that page that it's on. So there we go. Straighten it up, Cat. So there we are. So I did down the bottom there. Yes, Monkey, we're recording. Yeah. So, you know, the words will start just above the house. And, yeah. So, happy about... Yeah, okay. Happy about that. And then, this is a new start. It is from the Just CrossStitch Halloween Special 2023, so this year's one, and it's called Hang Your Broom, and the design is by Amy Baker of Barefoot Needle Art. I will try and insert what the end result is going to look like there, and here is where I am. So it's using sulky threads for the grey and the orange. Off the chart. Sorry, having an argument. For the grey and the orange, they're blendables, sulky blendables, and I think I'm using a Weeks Dye Works that I picked out for the Broom. Yeah, I'm sure it's a Weeks. Oh no, it was one that I just had a piece of, like a length of, and I didn't know where it was. You know what it was. Don't you knock those pillows off? I'm going to get black hair all over those pillows. Yeah, you heard me. You don't care, I know. Yeah, so I had just a length of this motley brown thread. So I thought, oh, I'll use that. Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm going to try and. Oops. There we go. So that's what the design is going to look like. Okay. And then I had a couple of finishes. One was a start and finish, and the other one was a finish. So the first one is the Strawberry Bellpull by Stitch with Coffee, and this is where I was, I think, last time you saw it. And I'm stitching it on the piece of 18, is this the 18 count? The 18 count that I dyed with the onion skins. And no, it's not ironed. So there we go. It's definitely different than my normal stitching, and I love it. It's beautiful. It's just so delicate. Little strawberries and that sort of thing. Now the problem was I ran out of the green up here, and because I'm not buying any more threads until next year, I had to look through my stash to try and find one that would work, and I think I did okay. especially because it's down this section and those two leaves up there. So even if it is slightly darker, it looks like it's supposed to be that way. Well, at least that's the way I look at it. So I was really happy to have finished that one. And then, oh my goodness, hang on, dropped it. Right. The start finish is actually it's a model. So so it's by Romys Creations, which is this one here, Be My Valentine. Now I don't have any of Romy's beautiful threads, Romina's beautiful threads, which I would love to have. And I didn't want to do it in DMC because I wanted the variation in it. So I looked at the DMC conversion that she had on the chart, and then I went through Stash and picked out what I wanted to use. If you go to Romys Creations on Facebook, you'll see my post there, and you'll see the conversion that I did with the colours that I chose. And I'm stitching it on 18 count vintage cream. I stitched it on. So here we are. So that's my take on it. I put eyelets in. I don't know if you can see them. Here we go. I put eyelets in. And instead of using white, because of the colour of the fabric, I didn't want to use white. So one of my favourite threads to use is the Dinky Dyes Mother of Pearl, which is 007. I love it. I don't know. I just really love that colour. So any of the white on it is the Mother of Pearl, and it's just lovely. So there we go. Be My Valentine. So that was a start and finish. So I started it on Friday and I finished it yesterday. Right, so that's those. Now, you would have seen me post, I don't know if you would have, but if you have seen me post on YouTube, no, Instagram, you'll see that I've been playing with the sewing machine. She's not happy to work at the moment. So she's on timeout to think about. So I pulled apart one of my pillows. I just need to close this. But one of the things I did was and it's not finished yet, obviously. So it's nearly fully finished, is this one here. And I'm going to have trim around it as well. And I've got a couple of charms to attach at the ends. I just need to close it up and then smooth it all out and get it all looking nice before I do everything else. So I pulled apart one of my pillows from the bed because I didn't have any stuffing left. It took a lot of stuffing. It's a big, because I wanted it nice and firm. I didn't want it all soft and squishy. So yes, I've got to close that one. But other ones that are okay, that are FFN, which is fully finished for now. Because I do want to add some embellishment to some of them. So this one is Gaia. I'm contemplating putting these up around it. So that's I've added one on, and I sort of thought, well, if I change my mind, then I'll just add another one over that side to even it up. But I'm thinking about that one. So Gaia is by Quaternion Creations, and I stitched it with sulky threads on opalescent. I think it's like is it a 14 count? Maybe a 16 count. So I did her as a stand up. Just put some earth underneath her. So she's to be embellished, but FFN for now. So I can display her for now. This one is Black Cat In by SubRosa Designs. And I stitched it 1/1 on 25 count. Now, as I said, I decided not to do that down the bottom there. And I'm glad I opted for that, even though I love those little flowers. just for the size. So yeah, so that's Black Cat In by SubRosa Designs. And then Winter, Simply Winter by Waxing Moon Designs, made into a wonky drum. I've got a thing for wonky. I probably should have just waited to try and find some more stuffing. But you know, and then I just attached a little bit of faux fur wool. It's actually wool because it's winter, so I just added that on, and as you can see, yeah, it's not level. I know. So it's like me, it's a bit wonky, especially at the moment. Lest We Forget by Mill on the Floss, I think it is. It's stitched on a 14 count opal from Jodie Redesigns. It was a limited edition month one. Yeah, really happy with that, and I just did a lovely read on the back to represent Anzacs and, yeah, lest we forget. The other stand up I did was Herman and Lily. No, yeah, Herman and Lily by the Witchy Stitcher. Now, speaking of the Witchy Stitcher, as a lot of you may know, she's having a little bit of a health battle going on at the moment, and if you haven't already heard, October 1 is going to be the Witchy Stitcher day. So, you know, if you have a design of witches, start it on that day, or stitch it on that day if it's a whip. You know, if you haven't got one, go and check out her website, witchystitcher.com, and support her by buying one. And if you can't do either, then just spread the word. Spread the word. October 1st is Witchy Stitcher day. And you know, and I wish her all health and energy and the power to fight. And I'll be sending that over from New Zealand, and hope that that energy to fight will get to her. But I just did Herman and Lily as a little stand up with my candelabras around the right way and in the right way. So I was happy with that one. And then the last ones I did, my mum, I'd given her these, a couple of decades ago, but I'd just given them to her to, I think they were just sort of in a card or something, so that she could, you know, and I had lots of fabric so that she could either frame it or, you know, whatever. Well, last year when I gave her these for Christmas, she brought these two little ones out and she said, can you do the same for these? So there we go. The lovely little simple fabric on the back. There's a part of me that's sort of thinking I might try and add like a bead or something on it, but that's why it's an FFN, so finish for now, because I might add something else to it. I doubt it, because Mum liked the simplicity of the other ones. Okay, what else have I done? Oh, so like I said, I was playing with my, actually we'll do that first. Now last time when my little short that I did about the jar dyeing, here we go, the voice is going, the jar dyeing, I said I wanted to experiment with one more thing, but I wasn't going to show you, or whatever. What I did was I had a little bit of the one that was mixed with the lemon left, so I put that into a little spray bottle, and then I had some of the red cabbage left, and I mixed some lime and baking soda together in with the red cabbage, and I put that in the spray bottle, and then I took it outside onto the line and I just sprayed like crazy. It was a little windy, so it didn't really get evenly dispersed, but that's okay. And then I just let it drip dry basically, and this is the result. So I got, it's a bit, so obviously when it was dripping down, any of the pink got covered by the rest of it that was coming down, because there was a lot more of that. So there we go. But I actually quite like it. I think it's, you know, it's quite nice. And again, another experiment. So I was happy with that. So there's 18 count. And then playing on my sewing machine, I've done a whole bunch of these 2x2 squares. And this was me just laying them on the desk sort of thing. When I'd done them. And then I was sort of thinking, oh, what can I do? What can I do? Because I was quite enjoying it. So who knows what I'm going to do with that? That may, you know, some of them may end up being like little small quilts or something, just very brightly coloured, which is so not me. But then I sort of thought, oh, I remember seeing I think it was on Pinterest, about these coasters, and you use 6 squares of fabric plus, you know, the padding. And so I sort of thought, oh, maybe I'll give that a go. And so I went through all my scraps of fabric and my offcuts, and I cut a heap of these 5-inch squares. Well, approximately 5-inch. Never been good at cutting straight. And I put them all together so that, you know, I could do a whole bunch of them, thinking they'd be really good. Well, the rest of them are over there. They'd be really good as, like, I know, just little gifts to give, or exchanges, or, you know, stuff like that. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was the day before, I thought, right, let's give this a go. I'll try and remember how it's, I could have gone and had a look, but I thought, no, I'm sure I remember how to do it. And so, you know, I got through 6, made 6, and then my machine halfway through the 7th one's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing any more. That's it. You've had enough of the multiple layers. Not doing any more. So she's thrown a major hissy fit, and I still haven't worked out what's wrong. So she's just sitting there thinking about it. But I did manage to make, and I don't call them coasters, I call them wonkies, because they're a bit wonky. So that's what they're now called. They're not called coasters, they're called wonkies. And so I've done 2 of that one of that one, I think. Is that right? 2 of that one. And so far 1 of that one, because that's when the machine died when I was trying to do the second one. So Lord knows what that one's going to look like. So I managed to get through 6. And yeah, I mean, no, they're not perfect, and yeah, they're a little wonky, but hopefully whoever I give them to will use them and like them. What? Really? Bobby's a bit miffed because he hasn't had his luncheon. I know. Yeah. You blend in so well. Anyway, so that's those. Sorry, I'll just straighten you back up again. So the last thing is a tiny bit of haul that I got. Well, I say tiny. It's over, you know, this is over, you know, the last while. So I got 18 count antique white Ada. It was in the remnants bin, so 55 by 98 centimetres, so nearly a metre by half a metre, so that'll be really good. And I also got the red Ada band, and I've got an idea in mind for that because I had a count on it, and I wanted to see, is it possible, so I've got an idea for that. And then this is my first piece of country stitch fabric. Now if you watch creatively. She loved, you know, and who else has it? Who else have I seen with it? I think Lizzie Stitches, Stitching Lizzie. Oh, Liz, I'm sorry. I'll put it down here. Lizzie Stitches? I'm sure it's Lizzie Stitches. They use this. They use this fabric. It's from Country Stitch. Catherine, she does incredible. Here we go. Just try and put that up there. Now, it's not like I haven't seen the fabric before, because she was at our first ever retreat in New Zealand with her beautiful fabrics and things like that, which I ogled over. But this is my first piece. On her website, you'll see it's just listing Ada and, linen and even weave. And I had sent her a message saying, you know, do you do Ada as well? Because I don't stitch on the others. And she does. So all you need to do if you want some of her fabric in Ada is that you just select which one you want in even weave, and then in the when you're in the checkout, just say, you know, I'd like this in whatever count Ada that you're wanting. And yeah, and so I asked for a motley grey, but not a dark, because I can't stitch on dark. And I've attempted to get the motley grey, light motley grey, and it just I just can't get it. It always goes too dark, or it's just not what I want. So I thought, well, you know, so she said, she directed me to which one in regards to the motley, I think it was, and she goes, but you know, all the grey. And I said, yeah, that's the one. She goes, yeah, but you'd want this version, which would be grey whack. So that's what it is, grey whack, which is this one here. You focusing? Hopefully. And this is the piece of fabric. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so pleased. It's got beautiful mottling throughout the whole thing, silvers to greys. Oh, it's just lovely, and it feels nice. You know, it's not like uber stiff, but it's not that soft one. I hate that. You know, I don't hate it. I just find it really hard to stitch on that really soft Ada. So yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely love it. So that was my treat. I'd like to treat myself like once a month, but we'll just sort of see. I don't think I will. I think it maybe be every other month or something. And then over the last month or so, 6 weeks, these are the threads I've got. Mainly from Stitching Z. The lovely Stitching Z, the lovely Elizabeth. Most of these are from her. So I've got a range of there we go, classic colourworks. A lot of these were to replace ones that I'd run out of, or that I was just about running out of, and I knew they were colours that I like to use. But there's another, you know, there's a couple of new ones in there that I haven't had before, so I thought, oh, you know, give that a go. My water lilies. This is for something that I've got in mind. I'm still deciding on. Then I've got a couple of gentle arts, which I'd run out of. Some threadworks, particularly my favourite grey, which is the 11212. Aren't they beautiful? A chameleon. I think that one was Ribbon Rose. I think I got the chameleon from Ribbon Rose. I got some dinky dyes, because I love my dinky dyes. And then my weeks. Dark colours for weeks actually. But I you know, I've been doing a lot of, you know, more of the autumny ones, and so I need the, you know, the darker greens and the browns. So yeah. So that's it. Now I can put them away. Now I can put that away. Okay, so that's everything. I'm going to go rest my voice now. I'm going to go get some lemon honey ginger, and just sort of see how we go, and I'll get this edited and I'll get it up as soon as I can. So just quickly, I just want to give a couple of shout outs for ones that have made me giggle over the last couple of weeks. Akio Whip, that is one of my favourite couples to watch. So I was watching them again this week. Of course, Chris, CrossStitch, definitely makes me smile to have him back on our screens. Mad Morty and Broom, those two crack me up. They always make me giggle. I always get a giggle when I'm watching those two. Another of my favourite couples. So we've got the US one, we've got the UK one. So there we go. And you know, Sarah's Stitchy Spot. It was a little bit of a sad one the week before this one with the loss of Chester. It's not easy losing a fur baby. I'm not going to say a pet, because to me they're part of my family, and you know, they're my kids, and it's not easy losing one. You know, we all know that when we get one, they're not going to be forever, but it doesn't make it any easier. So yeah, so Sarah's Saltbox Stitcher, love watching her. Who else had me giggling this week? There was a couple of new ones. I'll just sort of note them down here because I didn't write them down. There's a couple of new ones for me, and I really enjoyed them, so I've actually subscribed to them, and they've been added to my watch list queue. But in all honesty, especially the last week, I have been binge watching crime. So Crime Weekly with Stephanie and Derek. Love it. If you're a true crime nut, it's a podcast as well as on YouTube. So I don't necessarily have to watch it, because they do have some visuals on the YouTube channel, but I don't need to watch it. I just pretend I'm listening on a podcast instead. But really, really love it. Crime Weekly. So I'm actually gone right back to the beginning, and I'm watching all these multiple episodes, because they don't have a lot of one episode stories, which is great. So I've been watching all of those, and Emma Kenny is the other crime one that I love watching, and there's another couple as well. So that's what I've been doing. So yeah, so I'm gonna take off. If you're having problems with your health, please, take care of yourself and things like that. Enjoy your stitching or enjoy your crafting. If stitching's just not holding your attention, then have a play with other things, or do stitch adjacent. Things that may be organising things, organising your charts, organising your floss or fabric, or stuff like that. So especially organising the charts, because that might actually inspire you to pick up the needle again if your stitching mojo was a bit off. Yeah, so just take care of yourselves. Hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll just sort of see how my health goes. But yeah, and don't forget, on the 1st of October, I'm starting Happy Halloween by Puntini, Paola. So, if you want to join in on that one, that's my Halloween start. And it's a start along. It's no particular pace or anything like that, because I am still stitching a lot of models, and I've got a lot to do. So Yeah. So for those that are in the hot climate still, if you're still getting some of that hot weather, make sure that you take precautions. Don't overheat, drink plenty of fluid, and try and find ways to keep yourself cool. For those that are in our cooler temperatures and stuff like that, wrap up warm, lots of lemon, honey, ginger, and just, you know, just snuggle up. Great time for stitching or crafting. And so from me, Bobby and Monkey, thanks very much for stopping by. If you liked what you saw, please make sure that you like, subscribe, you know, do all those things. Spread the word, whatever. I have noticed that we're creeping up to 500, which is a bit of a shocker. Somebody mentioned that a couple of episodes ago, I think. Which is cool. You know, it's scary, but it's cool. So from us, we'd like to say, you know, take care everyone, keep well, and don't forget, march to the beat of your own drum, because that's where the magic happens. Doodles.